Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the 7th day comic book news recap video. I'm Adam from GeekRest.com.
And I'm Aaron from Comic Shop.
Aaron from a comic. You should know this by now.
Shop.
At a comic shop, where people have done foul deeds in the bathroom.
Right.
Unnamed. We won't. That wasn't me.
We don't know. We don't have cameras in the bathroom.
We will now.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Someone-
don't throw up in my bathroom.
Don't do that. God.
And if you do, let us know.
Yeah. Heads up a little bit.
Huh.
Ugh. Anywho.
All right.
It's not just comic book news we're talking here. It's mostly, pop culture stuff, which the biggest thing that came out this week, J.J. Abrams is officially the director for Star Wars Episode 7. Score. That's cool.
Yeah, it's
J.J.
cool.
Abrams is...
I've already heard people
man.
in here that, I haven't heard this type of thing since the Captain America, and they're like, how is Captain America also Human Torch? I don't understand how Captain America can also be Human Torch. And then people are like, how can the Star Wars director be the Star Trek director?
The internet was pretty much created for this one moment in time where someone could talk about, where he's directing Star Trek. Can't direct Star Wars.
Dude,
whatever.
In my opinion, the Star Trek he directed was Star Wars. It was the hero's journey. You
Yeah.
had Kirk was like
It was
Luke,
Star
and
Wars.
and no, it was,
It was.
It felt a lot more like Star Wars than Star Trek for
Yeah.
some of the story beats,
Well, that's
especially
It was just so modernized. It was homage to the classic series, but with that, fancy lens flare joke. I'm not going there with the lens flare jokes, but
I enjoyed Star
you
Trek.
did a good job.
And I took my wife there, and she enjoyed it, and she doesn't like Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't really even like Star Wars.
Well, maybe now with Abrams, But that's awesome that they got him to do that, and of course everyone's polarized. Pretty
Right.
much, they're gonna love it, they're gonna hate it, but you don't know what the hell he's gonna do. But I think he's like one of the best directors of our generation who can tap into the stuff that we grew up on, like that Spielberg-esque vibe, and modernize it. And clearly, he's a great story writer. I mean, Lost.
Well,
and-
to me, it's
knows
just
what
Star
he's
Trek
doing.
was good, and that's the thing on most, all fours comparison.
Right.
Like, people can pull up, I didn't like Cloverfield, or, I didn't like whatever that, what was it? 8mm or
Super 8.
Super 8,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that, I watched that, thought it was cool. It felt
It was
like
fun.
one of those 80s kids movies type Spielberg
Those
thing.
Amblin Entertainment
I
era.
dug it, I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to pick it apart, go ahead, but it was all right. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It's a popcorn
But
movie.
if you like Star Trek, I don't see why you should complain about this.
Exactly.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, I want Tarantino to do a Jango Fett movie, but but anyway.
One day.
Yes.
On the web, maybe.
Okay.
That's cool, JJ. Awesome. I'm stoked. You won't hear me bitching about that
I'm
that
excited.
news at all. And then even more so, Doctor Strange. What's his name? President of production. Kevin. I would get his name right. Kevin Feige or
Yeah.
Feige or
Feige.
something like that.
I'm just gonna say fake.
Feige said confirmed Doctor Strange movies in the works as part of Marvel's Phase 3, which, as we know, begins with Iron Man 3 or Phase 2. I'm sorry. Or Phase 3. No, he's going to be a part of the Phase 3 movies, but they're going to start
Phase
to develop
2
him.
is all the ones that we know about that are being developed,
Right.
already cast, already filmed. Guardians, Iron Man, Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
What was the Thor one?
Ant-Man.
Dark Elves
Dark
or
World.
something. Dark Elves. the drizzle.
But the drizzle.
Right.
Doctor Strange, though, is like, I've been dying to see him on the big screen ever since Marvel started doing things right, because he's just great. He brings in the whole mysticism and the,
Right.
Intergalactic.
And he has some defining, Mark Waid did a great mini on him. Brian K. Vaughan did a great miniseries too, where he was trying to cure cancer mystically because he was a doctor.
He's a doctor, yeah.
But they can do a lot of cool stuff with him. I just hope that he shows up in something before his movie so
Right.
that it gets people, going.
I like him because he's kind of got that. I mean, on film, I can see him being that Tony Stark kind of character, like that arrogant doctor, surgeon.
Right.
Of course, loses his, hands. He gets his mentor around
Right.
the world.
Yeah. I like that he's like a ridiculous ladies' man. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Defenders where he's like having sex with some like teacher's assistant in there. You know, just like he's ridiculous. You know,
Yeah.
he's a ridiculous ladies'
I'm
man.
a
I think
doctor.
that will translate well if they carry that over. But yeah, play up the fallibility, the arrogance, play up the Tony Stark-esque stuff.
Right. And who knows, like, what kind of casting, what kind of fun you can have with that. There's going to be fans going to go crazy with that. Just don't dress him like Liberace. Like, you're gonna have problems on the big screen when it comes to translating that. I mean, I have faith, but, you know, he's a flamboyant, you know, guy.
Right.
And we'll see. We'll see what they got going on there. But that's Doctor Strange confirmed. Probably coming after Ant-Man. Liberace, I don't know. He's saying. And, 20th Century Fox and all them guys, they're working, of course, on X-Men Days of Future Past with Bryan Singer directing. And they dropped 3 actors' names, basically Iceman, Rogue, and Kitty Pryde.
Cool.
I'm not going to say the actors' names. You can look it up. But
Yeah.
those are the characters we're going to get.
Rogue.
You know Rogue. Anna. And I mean, who knows how they're going to use them in that post-apocalyptic, you know, future. They could do anything with these characters, but you know, they got Ian McKellen back, Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this
Do
whole thing. I mean,
whatever you want.
The second they said Days of Future Past is like, if this isn't a fake out, if this is for reals, if it's not just half the movies in the future or a quarter of it, or you know, like I'm saying fake out, not just the Danger Room sequence, but you know, if it really is this story, hell's yeah. You know, let's do this.
Yeah.
But
Mark Miller's, you know, he's trying to get everything together with Marvel behind the scenes, so let's see what he does. And then in comic books, they were throwing out a couple more teasers. Marvel is with their old Marvel Now Age of Ultron events. These were submit or perish teasers.
Right.
They threw them out there for, I mean, it was Black Widow, Red Hulk, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. I don't know what, you know, aside from the whole ex-girlfriend motto, you know, submit or perish. I don't know what my ex-girlfriend.
Submit or perish.
That's what she said to me. I don't know.
It's kind of like the Borg or something, you know.
It's a little bit. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Assimilate.
But you know, I kind of like what I'm seeing here about this alt future type of jump in time. You know,
Yeah.
a little rock worldy or whatnot.
Dystopian. It sounds like they're going to plant some seeds for future storylines for sure. And the one thing that sets these teasers apart from each other is basically just the Hawkeye teaser. He's the only illustration where he's in the shadows and his eyes are glowing red. Like there's something amiss there. Every other character is
like he's been assimilated.
you know, yeah, he's you just spoiled everything.
No,
and who knows what's coming, but
that cover looks cool though. The gold foil that they're sending me, just the cover, just the gold foil cover. As you know, they're sending every comic book store it or.
It's not a variant. That's the standard
so
cover.
So we see what it looks like before we have to order. Like, oh, this is nice. But I like the image of it with Hawkeye and the reflection. I mean, that's and all these fallen heroes, and then you see the reflection in the gold of Ultron, and it's just Hawkeye standing up against him.
That's cool. But they're just sending you the cover.
Yeah.
Not the book.
Yeah. I just love it when it's like the Archer against and all the real people, all the heavy hitters have fallen. Like when Green Arrow took out Darkseid, you know, with an arrow with a shrunken atom on the end. That was just
that's cool.
That's one of those scenes that it's just an indelible mark in. I mean, it's kind of like David and Goliath in a way, you know, like
the Archer's got that appeal, you know, the whole.
But
that's cool.
Let's do this and bring it on. You know, that'll keep us going until the big Thanos thing.
Seriously.
Late summer, they said. Late summer.
Bring it, Aaron.
Cosmic.
And one last little thing to mention, because it came up and it stirred a little controversy, and I figured we'd weigh in on it. What's her name? I'm blanking on her name. I want to say she's the colorist for Captain Marvel.
Jordie Bellaire.
There you go. She mentioned in a Tumblr post, apparently there was some con that's unnamed that is not inviting colorists, or, you know, at the very least, recognizing
They're
colorists
not listing them as creators.
Creative talents on comic books.
I suppose you can buy your own table and show up, or you know, the inker or the artist might share a table with you as a colorist, but they're not listing them.
They're not.
It's just this disrespect.
They're not an artist alley.
Like if they're not an actual creative industry person, why are they listed in the comic? It's, you know, like,
it is absurd that they can make that that they can separate them like that.
Especially
that they feel they're not as part of the book as
this
the writer.
day and age with color. It's not just the 4-color thing with the this is that it's all kinds of special effects, and when you see the pencils and the inks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see the finished colored page, and it's just pops. It's just
I think that like FCO on Batman, I think Batman's a much better book because of the colorist. The Manhattan Projects, you cannot talk about that book without talking about the coloring.
right.
And it doesn't have
Bedlam
to be that
uses
extreme,
color
but-
to show what's a
Right,
flashback
Bedlam.
and what's current.
Yeah.
Just by coloring, you don't need little captions like before or after. It's just the
Right.
coloring alone sets whether it's in the past or in the present.
Right.
I mean, and here's the thing: when you think of interacting with colorists at cons, I mean, they have prints to sell that are awesome.
Yes.
They have great stories, great anecdotes of whatnot. They're
Absolutely.
part of it, and they do it because they love comics. They love comics. They're part of the industry. They're part of it all, and it's fun. And sometimes they have really good prints. I mean, seriously.
Very good, yeah. So the fact that came up, I mean, I'm glad she raised the issue and called out the con, even though they're not named. But it got people talking.
And it's just weird because wasn't like the battle a decade ago about inkers?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a whole anchor thing. It's like, are you a tracer?
Right.
No, I'm an inker.
Like colors, you got crayons. I mean, come on, grow up.
Yeah, grow up. They should be recognized. They deserve way more credit than they do already. So don't be pouring gasoline on that fire. That's just bad. Whoever this con is. And then that's pretty much it as far as a weekly recap goes. Some exciting stuff, mostly movie stuff. Star Wars.
Yes.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't throw up in bathrooms without, prior consent of things. And we'll see you next week.
All right.